And we are live morning, and afternoon and evening for those of you guys wherever you are. So morning for everyone in Australia, and afternoon, evening, and good night in US and and obviously Europe. So guys, just so that I can see that everybody can see and hear me all right, just put in your comments, let me know if you are there live just right now, and just say hello, let me know where you are calling from. We will be starting just in a moment. I've got some amazing things prepared for you. Hi, good morning, Aisha. Awesome. So if Aisha can see and hear me, then I'm sure everybody else can. I can see people are popping in online, which is awesome. I can only see the views, though I can't see who actually is online. So because of that, do let me know that you are here. Just put in a comment, say hello, let me know that you are here, and we get on the way straight away. Cassandra, awesome. Igul, awesome, excellent. Laura from Santa Barbara, hello. Diego, love it. Hi, good evening, Diego. Hi, List. Excellent. Hi, John. Awesome. So we've got some people here already, which is fantastic. So thank you guys for saying hello. Thank you for rocking up live. I know it's not easy for all of you to be here, because I know you've got so many different things to do with your business and with your life. So well done for coming in live. Hi, David. Hi, Renee. Awesome. Love it. All right, guys. So as I promised, we're going to talk today about three things. Hi, Mara from Italy. So we're going to talk about three things and three musts for 2021. Now, why are we going to talk about this? Because obviously we're wrapping up this crazy year of 2020, and we are getting ready for an amazing year 2021. However, success, as you know, does not just happen. Your online store will not just magically turn from where it is now to where you want it to be. We need to follow some principles, and we need to make sure that we follow them step by step. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I also have some amazing stuff planned coming up over the holidays. We prepared holiday series for you, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that as well. So first of all, with what we always need to start with are some ground rules. So guys, always remember that please be respectful to one another and myself. In the chat, we've got a couple of our team members in the chat as well, if you need any assistance. But any kind of rudeness or anything of that kind won't be tolerated. So please make sure that you're respectful to one another and to myself. Now, second thing, always remember this is information only, not advice. Anything that you learn, you need to apply that sound judgment for your business and apply what's best for you, because only you know your business. I do not know your business inside out. Only you know your business from when you started, and all of the history of what you've done and what you did not do. And of course, guys, there is going to be a replay of this Facebook Live. We'll have it posted inside our Facebook group. And we will also send all of you guys recording in case you want to go back to this and recap the point as to what what we're gonna go through today. So coming up, guys, what's coming up real soon? Just a couple of things. So here, first thing, we won't have any Q&A for a couple of weeks. However, instead of that, we prepared some holiday series training for you. So we've got some holiday training series, and these holiday training series, you will be able to access them in a couple of different ways. We'll be, of course, sending you an email with the message to access the training video, but you will also see that posted inside our Facebook group, so you can access it from either or, whatever you prefer. So that's going to be really good. Now, make sure that you do watch that, you take notes, you action that, and also you interact with one another inside the Facebook community as to what did you learn from any of those trainings, because all of those training series are, of course, super relevant to the methodology that I teach and to your store. So that's really, really important. Now, our team is taking a well-deserved break from tomorrow for a couple of weeks. And as a result of having a break, we also gonna have something exciting for you in the new year, and that's a revamp of our content of our modules. So we are preparing, just so that you know what's in the background. We've been really busy preparing a new Facebook module. We've been looking at advanced Facebook series and how to really incorporate and making it easier for you to not just make that first step, but then actually start digging into the topic further and further and making it bigger and bigger. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because, as you know, Facebook is a super complex topic, right? So Facebook is one of those topics where you start creating the ads and you like think, oh, this is going to be super easy. I'm just going to do this one thing and then I'll set it up and then I'll never touch it. And, I'm just going to be doing this promotion and going to be getting sales. Ha ha ha. If only Facebook worked that way, right? And I know all of you guys, like, you already put in the hard yards, you put in the hard work, and you made your Facebook ads work, or you're still working on it. However, there is, there's plenty of stuff still to learn and really understand how that algorithm learns. Because frankly, even after like spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on Facebook and literally like spending day in and day out with Facebook for over 5 years now, I can still tell you that I'm still learning about Facebook. So we're gonna do new modules for that, and also one of the big new topics that I want to add to our community and to our inner circle portal is more modules on conversions. And I know that some of you guys struggle with conversions and really want to understand more of the tactical but also strategic stuff as to how do I connect these two, how do I connect that information about the avatar with the actually making the sale at the end. And that's what one of the new modules is going to be about, and we'll talk about it today a little bit as well. And then bunch of other stuff, like we are preparing a Google module, and those of you who have been to the last one, the events, the 100K Power Grid module, and so on and so forth. So there is lots in the works. So first, holiday training series, you will be getting that via email and via the Facebook message. Then we're gonna have new modules. This will be released sometime in the new year. Of course, there's lots of work going into that, so we don't know exactly just when, but just so that you keep an eye on that, it's going to be sometimes early in the new year. And then the third thing we've got coming up is a 4-hour event on the 9th of January in Australia and 8th of January in the US. It's going to be a 4-hour kind of sweet, punchy, kicking off 2021. For those of you guys who've just been to the previous one-day event, this one is going to be different. There is going to be a couple of similarities, but it's going to be different. It's called Level Up 2021. And the sole purpose of that is to really like get you kicked off for 2021. We have released some limited number of tickets just for $27, and Kristen will send you the link. I'm pretty sure it's sylviamaris.co/level up 2021. But Kristen can send you the link. He will send you the link when he gets to that. And essentially, we will go in much more depth in some of the topics that we will cover today. So just so that you guys know what is coming up. Okay, so without further ado, hi Anna from Mexico, awesome, Macan from Florida, great. So guys, 3 things that we really need to cover today. It's getting warm here, so I had to take off my jacket. So that's Kristen who just posted the link there. So the 3 musts for 2021, which is what you came here for. Super important. So guys, first one, you really need to do your promotional planning, okay? Promotional planning, and I'll explain just in a moment what that means. So I'm gonna write it down hopefully big enough so that you guys can see promotional planning. Now, what does that mean, promotional planning? So there is all of different dates and holidays. Hi, Ross. There is all different dates and holidays in a year, and different events, different kind of promotional periods. Not everything is always going to apply to your business. But why do we have to do promotional planning? Because this is your chance to plan what you want to communicate to your customers. Remember, when you're communicating to your customers about certain events or certain promotion, whether it's a Mother's Day or Father's Day or whatever that is, it's not necessarily just an opportunity to promote your product and sell, but it's an opportunity to find an excuse to communicate to your customers. Why is it important to communicate to your customers? Because the more you communicate, the more on top of mind you are, the more they remember you, even if they are not in the market to buy right there and then. But it creates a relationship with your brands, right? So very important to do promotional planning. I'll give you an idea. What you really want to understand in the promotional planning is that what dates out of 2021, what are the promotional periods that apply to your business. So for example, in Australia, we've got this huge festival in March. It's called Mardi Gras, and it's the biggest gay and lesbian festival in the whole world, I'm pretty sure, or one of the biggest Mardi Gras carnivals in the world. And so that could be a really good promotional period for a business that has similar values, that it's all about color and uniqueness and diversity and all of that type of stuff. Now, is it going to apply to every business? Absolutely 100% no. It's just going to apply to certain business, okay? And that same business might not necessarily be the best one to create a promotion around Mother's Day or Father's Day or Easter, right? So your job as a business owner, your job is to map out the calendar for 2021 and look at the calendar and really start circling as to which one of these events applies to my brand. Now, for example, things like Christmas and Black Friday, it's kind of like applies to almost all businesses out there, right? So if I were you, I would be still circling Christmas and Black Friday, but I wouldn't necessarily be creating a promotion for everything that's out there, right? Because then you can just go crazy. And so essentially what you want to do, you kind of want to pick about around eight of these promotional events or opportunity to communicate or retail promotional periods to communicate to your customers. So pick about 8, and out of those 8, you want to have those that apply to your brand. So you want that to be a mixture of those ones where everybody is going to promote, like Black Friday or Christmas, but you also want to have something unique that connects with your brand. So whatever it is that you're selling, you want it to kind of connect, whether it's an Independence Day or Veterans Day or, International Kids Day or International Women's Day, whatever that is, you want to have a mixture of both. So you want to have kind of like the general retail, plus you want to have the general retail period. I know this is probably a little bit difficult to read, sorry about that. Plus something unique, specific to your brand. So unique, brand specific. Now, besides this, people always ask me, entrepreneurs always ask me, okay, so I'm gonna have these 8 promotional periods, like, does it mean that I don't promote my business any other time? No, that definitely does not mean that, okay? So on top of that, you need to create something that's so-called evergreen, okay? So these are your promotional periods, and in between, you wanna have something evergreen. What is evergreen? Those of you guys who've been to the 4-day boot camp that we run would also understand this to something that we call a donking. So essentially, something evergreen is going to be a promotion that you can just run all the time, that it's getting people into your funnel all the time. So it's an offer that's kind of always there at the background because that's the beginning of your funnel. Okay, it does not necessarily mean that the evergreen promotion is going to be something that will be the most profitable thing for you, but it's just something that's going to be filling up your funnel, and then you can touch those customers afterwards with a repeat purchase. This evergreen is really good to warm up your pixel. Remember, the more your pixel learns, the better result it delivers. The more your pixel learns, the better results it delivers. Very, very, very important. Okay, very important. Literally, the return on ad spend with Facebook, once your pixel really understand who is your ideal customer, who is your avatar, can literally like 10x over a relatively short period. So very important, guys, to have small budget aside on all of these, what we call evergreen promotions, besides those big events. So this promotional planning is really important. Lots of entrepreneurs, particularly at the beginning, underestimate that, and that's purely because sometimes we falsely believe that I'm just gonna throw my product out there and they're just gonna sell themselves and I won't have to communicate to my customers. But remember, the more you communicate to your customers, the more top of mind you are, and when they are after a product, it will be much easier for them to remember you. And of course, this is not just communication, but it's also your opportunity to create an offer, to offer something to sell. All right, so promotional planning, that's number one, really important. Number two, as you guys know, one of my favorite topics. Number two, you can do all the planning, but without traffic, you won't have any sales. Okay, you can do all the planning, but without traffic, there won't be any sales. So without traffic, there won't be any clicks, there won't be any page views, there won't be any add to carts, there won't be any sales. So what you really need to make sure that you do is with your traffic, you need to make sure that you cover the basics. Okay, those of you guys who have been to the last one day event, and those of you guys who are coming to Level Up 2021, we will cover this again. But essentially, the really important part in traffic is to really understand what we call the grids, right? Sorry, I can't see myself properly here, so when I'm showing you the grids, it's kind of a little bit on the side crooked. All right, and we will also have the grid inside the holiday training series, so make sure you watch that. But essentially, just to give you the rundown of that, lots and lots of you guys are in the first quadrant of the 100K a month quadrant, and the first quadrant is kind of like people who trade up to 5,000 a month. Then we have the second quadrant, that's everybody who's trading up to 20,000 a month. Then we've got the third quadrant, that's people who are up to 50K a month. And that's the fourth quadrant, which is up to 100K a month. Now, really important, and I'm gonna specifically touch on this quadrant here, because that's very, very important, and lots of you guys are in that quadrant, and even those ones that are in the second and third one, if you're missing the basics from the first quadrant, it's going to be much harder for you to scale your business and make it really, really profitable. Okay, so no matter where you are on that quadrant, and by the way, normally it's like this, the quadrant is like that, but as I said, I don't have time to go into the details of that just now. So wherever you are on that quadrant, what is really important for you is to make sure you always 100% all the time cover the basics from the first quadrant. Now, what are the basics? I've just seen so many people not pay attention to the simple metrics. So the simple metrics, guys, it's CTR link percentage and then CPC link. I'm going to circle this again. And why do I want to point this to your attention? Because even with some of my advanced students, when they're looking at their Facebook ads, and some of them are like, Sylvia, but I can't scale this one up. And I'm like, well, yeah, the numbers don't add up, because at the top of your funnel, your CTR link, click-through percentage, and your CPC link just did not add up, okay? So remember, if you're in the first quadrant, super important, you want to have CTR link click-through at a minimum of 1%, at the very bare minimum, and CPC link ideally less than $1, okay? Less than $1. So you want to have 1% plus and CPC link less than $1. Really, really important. Why is that? Because once you don't have these metrics working, then it's just not gonna happen for you, okay? So recently I spoke to one of my advanced students, and she was having a CTR link click-through of 0.4. And now, you know, with 0.4, it's not that just, it's giving you a clear signal that this offer is going either to the wrong audience or is not attractive for the audience you're sending it to. But you also, guys, also remember that Facebook will punish you for that. Okay, so it's kind of like what would you call that? A snowball. It's like a snowball, or in other words, it's kind of like a momentum, right? So when you think about this is telling you the 1%, the 1 plus CTR link click through is essentially, in other words, telling you how attractive is your audience, how attractive is your creative for the audience you're sending it to, how attractive is your image, how attractive is your little video that you put together. Now, why is that super important for the number to be high? This is where some people just think it's just a number, but it's not just a number. Why is that? Because you guys need to remember that Facebook wants what? Facebook wants people to hang out on Facebook, okay? Because the more I hang out on Facebook, the more I scroll, the more real estate I create that can have placement or advertisements on it, okay? So if you create an ad that is not attractive, that customers are not clicking on, Facebook gives you a red flag. And that red flag somewhere behind the lines, somewhere behind the scenes, is saying, ooh, this person has been placing something for our customers that they're not interested in, which means they're going to get fed up and they're going to drop off the platform. Facebook doesn't want people to drop off the platform. Facebook wants people to stay on the platform. Guys, is this clear? Those of you who are online, let me know, is this clear? Like, do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So this is not just a number. This creates a whole lot of things in the background. That algorithm is really in favor of those who are placing something in front of their customers that those customers want to see. Does this make sense? Ross is saying yes, it does make sense. Okay, awesome. So guys, very important, like those algorithms, they're not a joke, you know, they're made by some of the smartest people on earth. I don't understand the algorithm myself, but I use it to the best of my ability. So when I say I don't understand it, I don't understand how it's programmed, but of course our job is to understand it to best of our ability. Okay, we're getting lots of yes. Awesome. John, yes. Olu, yes. Mara, yes. Makan, yes. Awesome. Love it. High five, guys. I'm glad you heard it. You understand it. And so as a result of that, the better your CTR link click through is, the more favorable audience or traffic price Facebook will reward you with. Okay, so your CPM, in other words, those of you guys who are familiar with CPM, your CPM or your cost of traffic will actually go down. Great. So make sure that you always stick to the highest CTR link click through. Very important, because that will kind of give you that snowball of rewarding you with actually cheaper audience, which essentially will be creating your funnel flow. Now, but at the same time, and this is the third point for today, at the same time, I'm getting so many people telling me, yes, Sylvia, I've got the right metrics, I've got the right CPC, CTR link click-through, and I've got the right CPC link, but I'm not getting any sales. So that's what we're gonna touch on right now. So guys, let me know how many of you or who here has that problem that you say like, oh, but my CTR link click-through is good, my CPC link is good, I'm driving the right traffic, I've got traffic, but there is just no sales, there's just no conversions. Guys, let me know how many of you guys have we got here, because I have seen those posts in our Facebook community recently, and I just really want to touch on that because it's very, very important. Emily says yes. So we've got at least one. Cassandra, that's me. Angelina, yes. All right, great. So we are now going to talk about how to fix that me. All right, so let's now talk about how to fix that. Vicky, traffic no sales, McCann, me. Okay, great. So we are now going to talk about those conversions. Priscilla, me. Diego, yep, me. No, not enough. Argue, yes. All right, great. So you're in the right place. This is what we're gonna cover here. Now, those of you guys who remember the quadrants from our last one-day event, you understand that in the first quadrant, your first job, your very, very first job for all of you guys here is to get your conversion rate to 1%, okay? So your first goal is to get it to 1% conversion rate. So 1% conversion rate, I want to make sure you guys can see it. 1% conversion rate. Let me just create this here. All right, so that's the first thing. Now, how are you gonna get that 1% conversion rate? Now, this is, guys, where I'm going to talk a little bit more about my beloved customer avatar, okay? Because how many entrepreneurs have we got in the community? We've got like hundreds of entrepreneurs in the community. So many of you guys are selling completely different products. Some of you are in cosmetics, some of you are in selling backpacks, some of you are selling camping stuff, some of you guys like selling scented candles or tea. And if there was like one way, essentially all of you guys, the questions that are coming back are always like, okay, but how do I put my picture? Like, do I put it like this or do I put it like this, right? So if there was a magic formula of all businesses across all industries, then we would already have it, right? So there is, however, some super important principles, and this is what I really want to address today, because that's really, really, really important. So typically, and we're now talking just about the first goal. We're not talking about conversion rate of 2%. We're just talking about conversion of 1%. If your conversion rate is below 1%, then it means that your traffic is right and your traffic is correct and you're 100% sure that the traffic is correct, then you have failed to communicate a couple of really important points on your landing page. And now let me tell you what those are. And this is really, really important for you to be able to communicate that. So first of all, you need to explain or show why your customers need to buy that product. So why? So often, and I'm pretty sure I've seen something even recently in our community, I look at the post and it's like, oh, Sylvia, something's wrong with my landing page, but yet there is no reason why. So, often when we sell our product, we're just like, well, of course the product is going to sell itself, the product is great, why wouldn't people like buy it? But often it's because we fail to communicate why they need it, or we fail to show them why they need it, right? Like, let me give you an example. Let's say I've got a glasses case, right? Let's say I sell glass cases and I already have one. So why would I buy another one? Or why would I buy a new one? Like, sure, it could be because this one is kind of a little bit broken and, you know, it's kind of a little bit old. But you still need to give me a reason why, because otherwise I'm not just going to buy it. And, you know, this is what we need to remember, that why is not just like important, it's absolutely crucial. So, and it's got a couple of facets. So why you need to buy it, and brainstorm that reason. And it doesn't mean that, you know, we're going to have a huge text on the landing page, because that's not going to work well either. But it means that you can show it in an image, like why they need to buy it, because you're going to be looking cool, you're going to be feeling cool, you're going to have the most fun with your family, because when your kids open that present, you're going to see magic like you've never seen before. You just need to brainstorm and write down the reasons why they might want to buy it. First thing. Then the why continues. Why do they need to buy it now? Why now is the best time? Because honestly, it can be any time. It can be any time, right? Why now is the best time? And third one, why from you? Why not from somewhere else? And guys, just to give you a hint, it's not about price. It's hardly ever about price. Okay? So why do they need to buy it? Why from why now, and why from you? So just brainstorm that, because this is really important. So why they need it, or why they should want it, why now, and why from you. Really, really important. And those of you guys whose conversion rate is less than 1%, it's feedback from your visitors that you have not communicated this yet. So this is essentially the nuts and bolts of the irresistible offer. Okay, this is kind of the base of that. Sure, after that, you know, we can talk about how we put it into beautiful images, how we structure that in the listing. But first you need to have that information here. Because when I look at some of your landing pages and there is like an image of a product without explanation, and I'm just looking at that thinking, well, why do I need this? And why do I need it now? And why should I buy it from you if I can buy it just anywhere else? Guys, does this make sense? Do you understand? Like, just because we target with crystal clarity customers on Facebook, it doesn't mean they don't have another choice. Customers have plenty and plenty and plenty of choices out there. And it's your job to tell your customers why they need this product, why this product is a must, why they need it now, and why they need to buy from you. So Diego, question, do we always calculate the conversion rate based off 30 days worth of data? That doesn't necessarily need to be the case. I always calculate it from whenever I made the changes. So if you make changes today, then you obviously calculate it from today. So I'm getting some yeses here. John, I found my supplier expensive. Cool. So really important, guys, to first communicate this, okay? Very, very important to communicate that, because customers have plenty of choices. Second, if you already have 1% conversion rate, how many of you guys here are already past that 1% conversion rate? Just type it into the chat box, because right now we're going to talk about how do we get from 1 to 2%, which is also something that we cover at the upcoming Level Up 2021. And we covered in our bootcamps as well, but I'm going to touch up on it here as well because it's really important. So let me know How many of you guys are already at 1% and you are trying to get to 2%? Mara, me, great. All right, so how do we go from 1% to 2%? Barely over 1%. Okay, great. So the way how we're gonna get to 1% to 2% is essentially optimizing, okay? So how we are going to optimize it? We are going to optimize it through some simple apps. So some simple online tools and apps. Now, what I want you to guys to understand is that the kind of tips, tricks, and points to how to go from 1 to 2% that we're going to cover here is not going to replace any of the why. Okay, so this what we're going to cover is really important. It's very tactical. You can literally like imply it within minutes, but it's not going to cover the why. So if you haven't covered the basics yet, then it might help you somewhat, but it's not going to transform your page. These are tools. Does that make sense, guys? These are tools, okay? So, all right. So, to get from 1 to 2%, we essentially utilize some simple apps. Simple apps. One of them that we are by no shape or form or means affiliated by, definitely not, but one of the apps that lots of our students use, for example, is Ultimate Sales Boost. Ultimate Sales Boost or USB is one of the apps that we use. Now, these simple apps are essentially touching on a couple of points inside our funnel. So we've got Ultimate Sales Boost. The biggest thing that it can do for you is essentially help you pinpoint or showcase urgency and scarcity on your website. Okay, so what is really important to get to the 1 to 2% is really understand show your customers the urgency and scarcity. And the urgency and scarcity has a couple of really important points. So first of all, and that Ultimate Sales Boost can help you with that too, is showing you how many you have left in stock. So of course you want to show low stock. When does the offer expire? How many people are looking at the offer right now? You want to see the pop-ups of somebody who just bought now, and you also want to see reviews. Now, one of the apps that I really like for reviews is an app called Looks. That's just one of the apps, but there is so many apps for reviews. You know, there is Judge Me and all of the other apps. But Looks, I like that one because it allows customers to actually upload images as well. And Judge.me allows that too. And those are really good apps that give your landing page and your brand a really nice kind of sleek look. The other thing you guys want to do is you want to apply a timer on your add to cart page. Really important, timer on add to cart page. Now, depending on what platform you are on, there is different apps for that, okay? So what you just want to do, you want to go to your Shopify app store or the equivalent in WooCommerce or BigCartel or Wix, depending on what platform you operate on, and you want to look for a timer on your add to cart page because that will help you with conversions. Now, I just want to stress though, guys, that if you already applied all of these apps, but you're still not getting to 2% and you're just over 1%, then perhaps you didn't cover the basics. Why your customers need and want this, why now, and why from you. Why am I saying this? Because I see so many of you want to get there like real fast, which is amazing, which is something we should be always striving for and doing, right? But sometimes we kind of skip that avatar part, thinking, well, this is not so important. I'll just, fill this out and then I'll set it aside and then I'll forget it. And we just apply all of these timers and apps, but then we can't quite get there and we start hitting the glass ceiling. So guys, do let me know how many of you here feel like they've been hitting the glass ceiling when it comes to the conversion rates. I want to hear from you. Let me know how many of you have been feeling like that. And in between, I'm going to answer the question from Liz. How do we get more information on CTR link and CPC link? So more information in terms of, not sure what you're referring to, but if you're thinking, for example, of reporting, so you essentially go into your ads manager, and inside your ads manager, you create custom columns. So on the very right side, you've got essentially your columns that you can choose from, and you pick CTR link, click through, and CPC link. Liz, if you're still not sure and if you had a different question, just put that inside the community and we'll address that and cover it. So yeah, so we've got a few that are hitting the glass ceiling, right? So that it's Ross, Pri, Aigul, Rene. All right, so you guys have already installed the apps and yet you are hitting the glass ceiling and can't quite get to 2. So in that case, please do revisit the why your customers need this, why now, and why they need to buy from you. That's very important, these 3 parts, and essentially creates the basis of your branding. And also what you want to make sure, and that's all of you, when you are looking at the images that you have on your website, and this is actually quite important. So when you look at your images, what you want to make sure is that your images demonstrate the product and they demonstrate the benefit. Okay, so demonstrate the product and the benefit. When I say benefit, I mean, how is your avatar going to feel? How is their life going to change when they use the product? Okay, so essentially you're combining the why and you're putting it into an imagery. So very important, make sure it's high quality imagery from different angles, that it really showcases the product use, and it showcases the benefit and how it transforms the avatar's life. Really important. Of course, goes without saying that if you are going to put imagery of people, then it needs to very closely align to your avatar. If you don't know who your avatar is, how many of you guys still don't know who your avatar is? If you don't know who your avatar is and you're still testing the waters, which is completely fine, then always go with the younger avatar. Go with the younger avatar and more neutral look. Okay, so if you're still not sure if your ideal avatar is super outdoorsy or super sporty or really elegant, or who they really are, then just go with somebody a little bit more neutral and younger always helps, rather than obviously having an avatar that we won't be able to connect to. Now, why am I always saying go with the younger image? Because the more we mature with age, the easier it for us is to connect to who we were and who we once were. Now, why is that important? Because as an 18-year-old kid, it's hard for them to imagine what they are going to care about and care for, and what their life is going to be like when they're going to be 30. But once you are 30, you can connect to how your life was when you were 18, okay? So really important, if your avatar is maybe in the 30s, 40s, or even if your avatar is in the 50s or 60s, always go like a couple of generations younger, because that's going to be easier for people to connect to, and that will essentially help you gather the data and then do a second run of your avatar. Okay, so let me just quickly, guys, recap. So your first goal is to get to 1% conversion rate. How you're gonna get there? Really important to understand why customers should need or want this product, why they need to buy it now, and why they need to buy it from you. You need to find these reasons why. Now, how you're gonna get from 1 to 2 is you're gonna just utilize simple apps. So you can utilize Ultimate Sales Boost, you can utilize Looks for review, you can utilize Timer on your add to cart. So essentially you need to apply urgency and scarcity, but it still needs to be kind of slick and on brand, okay? And if you still can't get there, also make sure that you've got the right imagery, that it's demonstrating the product and demonstrating the benefits and demonstrating how it is going to change the avatar's life. We will go into more detail on all of this in the Level Up 2021. For those of you who guys are coming, of course, we can't cover everything in the Facebook Live just now. All right, cool. So that's it for today. So guys, as I said, we will be taking a break and in the background we'll be working on new modules. All of you will be getting the holiday training series. So make sure you keep an eye on those, because the stuff that we covered today, some of that stuff will be covered in the training holiday series too. It will be posted inside the Facebook group and you will be getting emails too. And then those of you guys who want to find out more about these topics and kind of want to drill further into that, we will have Level Up 2021 just at the beginning of January. It's going to be a 4-hour event. Those of you who joined the previous one-day event, this is going to be different. It's just going to be 4 hours, kind of short, sweet, and punchy. And if you guys want the tickets, there is a link somewhere further up in the scroll. So, guys, I really hope that you will take the opportunity to have a break as well. Please do reflect on yourself and on the amazing thing that you've achieved this year. This year has been hard. It's been hard on just every single person in this universe, regardless of if your business has boomed or if you just started and you're still waiting for the boom, or you're still working towards the boom. Regardless of where you are on the scale, this year has been hard. So please do take a few days off to kind of relax and recharge. And I can't wait to see you guys in 2021. So happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. High fives across the room. Make sure you take the time to plan your promotional periods, you work on your traffic, and also you work on your conversion goals. We will have more examples of this and specific screenshots of that at the Level Up 2021 event. And also coming early new year, we will have more of those examples so that you can visually see everything, how you should have your images and how it should all be based on the website and how it should be arranged. We will have more of those examples early 2021 as well. We are preparing these modules and I'm super excited about that because they are really literally going to be fantastic. So with that said, guys, have an amazing happy holidays. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Thank you so much for tuning in and working on your business, because it literally is what you put in, you're gonna get out. So guys, give yourself a huge pat on the back that you are staying still 22nd of December and you're still like working in ways like busy bees. And thank you for being here today at this Facebook Live. Go get them, guys, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.